Sup, y'all? Welcome back to SmackDown Live. I'm your host, Harley Morenstein. Good morning, afternoon, or night, depending on when you're listening to this. Welcome back to the greatest podcast to ever podcast, the Big Fish Podcast. I'm your host, A Bucket of Jake, also known as the #1 competition to the Gronk's YouTube channel. And I'm coming for those Giga Chads to take their throne. I'm like 10-ish K away from them. I'm thinking about 9K away. I'm coming for the Gronkowskis. But speaking of Giga Chad, we have possibly one of the biggest musical chads on the entire internet. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Van Gogh of Vaporwave, Pad Chennington. How the hell are you doing, my man?
Dude, I'm good. I'm just chilling. I'm waiting for COVID to just be done. I need to go like bar hopping. I got to do something. But I mean, I'm hanging. Just like working on a bunch of videos. I'm starting a record label, so I'm working on all that, which is so much crazier than I ever thought it was. So much shit goes into it, and like I didn't realize how crazy it gets. So I'm kind of figuring that out, as I go along this journey of getting it started. But everything's pretty good. I can't complain. Just kind of hanging in New Jersey and doing my thing. That's
just
all.
Chilling, dude. You've been shooting to the moon. You have so many fucking side projects. Like I can barely like keep track of all of them, dude. You are going everywhere recently.
Yeah, it's crazy. I kind of have like an addiction to just always adding on another project. I don't know, the past couple years, especially since I started Pad, it's just once I finish one thing, and I've been trying to tell myself, like once you finish something, enjoy it, smell the roses, just look at the numbers, look at the people you've met and do all this stuff. And I'm always like, I just want to jump onto that next thing and see what else I can build and all that. So it's bittersweet. But at the end of the day, I always say like once you put all that work in and you drop it, whether it's video or music or an online festival, I've been throwing a couple of those. Once it's out there and it's running, it's so rewarding. So it's all worth it in the end.
No, definitely. Expanding your brand, I guess the Pad Chennington brand is one of the best things you could possibly be doing right now, getting a bunch of different revenues for different forms of artistic expression. Yeah,
and it's just fun. It's just so much fun, like building a platform.
Yeah.
I'm having a blast doing it, so it's just a good time.
Yeah. All right. We kind of hopped in a little fast and fiery, but for those who don't know, which I'm going to assume that's not many, or who are you? What do you do?
So I'm Pad Chennington, and I primarily I run a YouTube channel. I kind of talk about all things fascinating about music. That's my new slogan now. For the longest time, I would say Vaporwave's valedictorian, but as I kind of like evolved the channel and just dove into a bunch of different sounds, I really just, at this point, I don't even know where the channel's going anymore. I just learn things from people who are telling me things in the comment section, like, hey, you should go check out this thing. And then I'm like, all right, let me go look at it. And then I'll, check it out. I think it's fascinating. And then boom, just write a script, make a video. And that's kind of how the channel's going right now. So it's like a ride for me going into the unknown in a way. I don't know what's going to end up happening. But you can find me at Pad Chennington, obviously on YouTube. I'm going to be starting a record label called Cats Kill Records. We kind of have a Twitter and a Twitch all set up. So if you want to go follow that, we got a lot of good music coming out soon. And that's pretty much it. I made 2 albums a while ago. I plan on making another one in 2021.
Ooh.
So we got that coming. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
A man that wears many hats. I like it. I appreciate it. Also, so who are you? We answer that question. Next, the very important question is why are you here?
So you reached out to me, and I was really excited when you reached out to me because I saw your video, and we were talking a little bit about this before.
Oh, yeah.
We jumped in. This dude, like, this Caretaker video you put out is just absolutely exploding, and I loved it. I'll tell you why I loved it. There are so many videos, and I'm going to be doing a video on the Caretaker soon as well. I've been working on it for a long time. I've scrapped the script like 2 times already.
Really?
And the reason is because, one, there's so many people who have made content on James Leland Kirby's Everywhere at the End of Time. For those who don't know, it's like a 6-stage master class of just ambient and drone and experimental hauntology, all this crazy shit. You probably know what it is. I feel like everyone knows what it is these days, but
yeah,
you made a take on it, and it was a awesome mix of like informative and casual. And a lot of people tackle it like so just, I don't know, like we know what the themes are about, we know what the album's about and this and that, but you brought like a kind of a casual and a laid back side to it, and it kept me hooked the whole video. And that's, the most important thing. And it's just, your video is exploding.
That's so fucking sweet that you say that.
Yeah, dude, it's great. It's like, I saw the other day, I like, cause as I was doing research for Because like I said, I've scrapped my script for the video twice. I need to I'm going to try and do like a whole different take on the album. I mean, I'm going to go into it and explain everything about it and each stage and whatnot, but I'm also going to kind of like share a personal story along the way. I got to make it refreshing because like I said, there's so many Caretaker videos out there.
That's the thing with the Caretaker. Like, I don't know, like, if I'm just like the luckiest man on the planet, but I caught it at like the literal crest of the wave before it crashed down, and now it's like it's literally like a pop culture thing almost now. Like there are TikTok challenges about it.
I think what makes it so interesting is it's like, and I talk about this in my video, it's a subject, like the whole everywhere at the end of time thing. It's been talked about so much. So it's almost like, what kind of video can I even make at this point?
What can be said at this point? Yeah.
That hasn't been said already. In my video, I talk about how it's kind of like the discussion on, let's say you want to explain your case for why Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. It's a story that's been said so many times, but the thing is, it's such a fascinating tale, whether it's the legacy of Michael Jordan or just discussing everywhere at the end of time and the connection you feel with it, how it makes you feel with the sounds and everything, that you just want to contribute to the tale in any sort of way. You want to try and just, how can I bring some sort of angle to this thing that no one's discovered or explored before? And that's what makes it just a legendary piece of art. It's just an amazing discussion concept. And, you know, and I think, like I said, I think yours was just this casual, laid back, kind of funny, still very informative. And it hit real well. So big congrats on that, dude. That's fucking awesome. It's really good. So
that was like the first video that actually like blew up big. Actually, that's a lie. I made a video about the Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death, and that like I think that's at like 700,000 views. But God, I'm so happy that's not the first one to hit 1 million. I would have been so sad if that hit 1 million. But since like the Caretaker is now getting big and stuff, I'm glad that I can like kind of open the door to a lot of people. I don't want to give myself too much credit for it, but like I definitely caught it just like the perfect moment, like right before it went huge. And as it's getting big, everyone's like, okay, what the fuck is this? They Google it and they're like, oh, this dumbass made a video about it. And then they fucking watch it. That's where I think everything's coming from.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the YouTube game. You just it's got a mix of luck, like what's kind of trending, what's interesting and enticing as a video topic. It's just all these things. And you just like you said, you just hit that wave and it's looking real good. You know, hopefully by the time, I don't know when like the podcast goes live or anything like that when it gets dropped, but I mean, I saw you the other night. You were past 900,000. So you're making moves, baby. You're getting there.
The podcast, this episode specifically, is going to come out on the 28th of October.
Oh, okay.
So everyone listening on the 28th of October, this is like future stuff for you guys, but past stuff for us. Isn't that crazy?
922,000 views. That's what I see right now when I type it in. That is baller.
That's definitely going to be a mill by the end of October. Definitely.
Hell yeah.
That's crazy. That's just like a number that like it hasn't fully set in yet. I think once it hits the million, I'm going to be like, oh shit.
Yeah, once you see it go from digits to just like 1.0,
yeah,
M, 1.0 M, I can't even fathom that. That's a crazy concept. So
that freaked me out a little bit. But speaking of catching the wave of YouTube, I'll tell you about how you caught my wave when I was first stumbled upon you. I don't know how many people what their first video is for the Pad Chennington camp, but my first video was the brutal world of noise music. I fucking love that video. Like something about fucking like you explaining. I like how you focus in on Merzbow for it and talk about like all the other like fucking you went into like Luigi, funny last name, whatever his name was. You went like the history of noise music. I was just extremely impressed. I thought that was like such an interesting topic to make a video on. Yeah,
well, I think it kind of also relates to the same concept of you with doing this everywhere at the end of time video, because that noise video, it's not like I'm necessarily presenting this huge crazy fact check list video and stuff. It's more just like how this album made me feel on a conversational level, and it's just fun to just be imaginative, and that's how I kind of took the whole noise thing. And I say multiple times in that video, like I don't listen to noise on the regular, like I'm very new to the whole thing, but I can understand why someone would like it and whatnot. I think videos, like especially when it comes to music, because we know online music could be super gatekeepy at times with people, and like, you know, you can just get blocked for all this shit, and it's totally fine. Just that's music. People are in love with it, and there's, you know, you could take it any way you want. But I think that video kind of made me realize, you know, just kind of be yourself and say how you really feel about a certain thing. You don't have to necessarily spend a month just making this insane historical video, which isn't bad obviously either, but it's kind of fun just giving your own thoughts and how it makes you feel, and just make a video that's chilling, laid back, and it can go a long way. It comes off very unintimidating. That's even unintimidating.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure. No rocket scientist, but I think that's a word.
Yeah, but yes, that was that one. That was a fun one to make. That was definitely a fun one. It was one of those ones that like just saw a lot of growth on the channel too. It kind of just popped off at the time, and yeah, it was definitely fun.
It's just like a fascinating topic that I don't know if many people talked about it, but you definitely caught it on like a good crest of it, and you really went into a deep dive. Honestly, for someone that doesn't like listen to noise music a lot, you seem very knowledgeable on the topic. And I'm just scrolling through comments right now, and I'm finding some gatekeepers like you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen just with literally anything. I dropped this my latest video that I dropped, which is also somehow starting to kind of just explode in a way. It's just another thing where it's like you'll make a video and they'll be like, oh, it's not called this, it's called this, and then you just get murdered for it. But it's I don't know, it's fun. It's kind of just research.
What the fuck? This was at like 90K. Like I checked like 2 hours ago, and fuck, it's already at like 115. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's
Holy
dude,
shit.
it's just these enticing, obscure genre videos they're so interesting for me to make. I find them so much fun to do, and people seem to just kind of dig it. It's just a fun story to hear. So
I think that's why people like it. If the music has like a story behind it, or like some form of narrative, that's what that's what gets them. They're like, oh fuck, there's backstory. I didn't know about this.
Yeah, it's so much more immersive and interactive, and it's the whole experience is just fun. It's just a fun time.
Yeah, especially with the noise music, I'm reading through comments and people saying like, oh, not the noise music one, sorry, my bad. The latest one with the dark genre, people just gatekeeping, saying this isn't even dark, bro. I fall asleep to this stuff.
Oh my god, somebody said something. I gotta find this comment. I'll send it to you later or something. But it was like the greatest. It was like one of the greatest comments I've ever seen. It was like one of those just like, this is nothing compared to just my arsenal of a library that I've built over the years. And I'm like, oh god, like this is.
I found there was one comment like on the video. I thought it was so fucking funny that I usually don't do this, but I screenshotted it and I put it on Instagram. I gotta fucking find it. I don't know why, but it made me laugh.
What, for your Caretaker one?
Yeah, the Caretaker one. Fuck, I gotta find this. It was fuck. Hang on. Very professional interview here.
Let's go right to the YouTube comment section.
Exactly. I usually keep up the YouTube, like keep a tab open with the YouTube comments just in case. All right, here we go. So Jonathan, he's talking about. He says, it's all gaslighting, and Jesus, you will have an excuse, you poor libtards, to have any excuse to make music seem bigger than it really is. Oh, and if you wear a mask, you're a son of a bitch. Take your mask off and face the fear that you didn't have before March. Caretaker is not art.
I mean, that comment is art. Like that is.
He hit so many different like.
He went everywhere there.
I was dumbfounded. I was like, okay, cool. I just thought that was really funny.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's the whole YouTube comment section is an art form in itself. It's fun, but
when you were talking about that, you get your topics for other videos through the YouTube comments. That must be such like a balancing act, like sorting through all the dog shit in there.
What ends up happening? Yeah, what ends up happening is usually I'll drop a video, and I'm sure this kind of happens for you too. But in the beginning, your subscribers will see it. So, shout out to this, all the subscribers. Like they'll just give some good suggestions or topics,
good honest feedback.
Yeah, and then once the YouTube algorithm starts to push it, that's when this wave of comments come in that just like destroy the thing, and it's just like, oh my god. But I think after a while, it really just negative comments kind of come in, because like I love how like we're kind of going into just a diagnosis of YouTube videos in general.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. We're on the platform. We're allowed to.
Yeah. So it's just like looking at this video that just came out. The like to dislike ratio is like 98.5. So it's still getting likes. But I think after a while, once it leaves your subscriber base and once YouTube starts pushing it, most of the comments that'll come in are just like going to bash you in a way.
It's the fucking Wild West, dude.
It is, but it's all fun. It's all good.
I I don't know if you have the YouTube notification, like the YouTube Studio app on your phone, but like
I do, yeah.
I don't know if they did this or if it's just for me, but for some reason, the notification section, the only thing that they'd put in the notification section for me were negative comments. So every time I got a notification on my phone, like, ooh, new comment, it's a negative comment. I'm like,
That's
this is
interesting.
fucking...
See, for me, I never knew how the notification thing works, but what I've noticed is for the most part, I'll get a notification if someone with a channel that has a good amount of subscribers comments. That's what I'll get a notification for. But besides that,
shit.
Yeah, I really never understood
do you know any of the big people that follow you or subscribe to you?
Oh my god, what's his name? I did a video with him too a while ago. I forget his name, but he does like meme stuff. But he commented on everyone does meme stuff, but like
Dolan Dark,
and that popped up for me. So I was like, oh, look at that, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I never really knew how like the push notifications work. I think that's what it's called.
I know that there's a like on your YouTube for the YouTube Studio, there's a way to check subscriber count for subscribers that you have and see the highest one.
Look at that. See, I don't even know half the shit in my YouTube Studio.
I just stumbled upon it and I was like, okay, I'm curious who my biggest like subscribed follower is, and it is a gentleman by the name of Nearly Senior Citizen Gamer. That's
never heard of them.
I would not expect that. I think it's just an old dude. Like from what it looks like, it's just an old dude that just like plays like vaguely like copyrighted like shitty fucking like Flash games.
Okay.
And he has like 200k subscribers, but he gets like 200 views a video. I don't know. There's something fishy going on here, but I thought it was funny when I saw it. But dude, you've been popping off for a while. You've been at this YouTube game for like a little bit since like 2 years ago. Yeah.
About it's actually going to be. I realized this today. My 3-year anniversary on YouTube will be on the 28th. Was when I made my first video of
October.
So it's going to be 3 whole goddamn years. And
holy shit! This podcast comes out on your anniversary.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Shit. Look at that. Happy anniversary! Holy shit! That's fucking wild.
Marketing right there,
dude.
We'll marketing the shit out of that.
Let's fucking go. That's sick. 3 years. How's it been since you started compared to now in those 3 years?
I mean, it's definitely different. I've learned a lot in regards to just video production. I still have a lot to learn. I mean, I'm still using a MacBook, and I don't even have a mouse. I use the touchpad still. Like, I'm still so far behind. So far behind. But I think the one thing was I never wanted to make a channel that felt like you were just watching another YouTube channel. I know that's kind of surface level. Anyone would want their YouTube channel to not be just another YouTube channel, but like to this day, I really do. I try my best to respond to all my comments and everything. I want it to be more than just, a guy that you can connect with. Like I want this whole thing to be just a conversation between me and you. It's more than the video. It goes into the comments section. We'll do live stream Q&As, and I just want to make it as interactive as possible because I think interaction is just the key to growth.
It's the engagement, bro.
Engagement, yeah, and it'll take, certain things may take a long time. Like I think, shock factor on YouTube, like thumbnails that are super clickbaity. Those will obviously get you your numbers, but I think if you do it the right way, you build interesting topics, you build a good subscriber base and everything like that. I don't think you could go wrong that way. And and you also got to be. I think if you really want to make a YouTube channel, you got to be in it for the long haul. Like and you have to love it. Like I am obsessed with making YouTube videos. It's so much fun.
Absolutely agree.
And I'm just like, I'm already working on this Caretaker. I think once you see like one of your videos start to pop off, you just get this rush of inspiration and you're like,
it's
wow,
literally a drug. Literally a drug.
Yeah, it is. And you're like, I got to get right back. Into it. I have to just start making something right now. And that's it. It's addicting. It's so addicting. But like I said earlier, once you get that product out and you just start seeing, the numbers go up, it is all worth it. It's so much fun.
It fuels the addiction, like seeing the numbers go up and you're like, oh shit, I want to make more of this. And then if you make more, get the more numbers, like, oh shit, like it's literally a drug. Like you take it, you want more and more and more until you're fucking like Jake Paul and doing shit. Getting raided by the FBI.
One day we'll be driving Lambos. Like,
yes, sir, baby.
I can't wait.
Dude, I'm fucking so excited to drive Lambos. Something that you've been collecting besides Lambos are vinyl records. And I'm a huge vinyl record guy. And I really appreciate how much you talk about vinyl records, especially vaporwave vinyl, because that's such like a a niche, like not really scratching the surface subject, but like you put it in such a way that I'm like, fuck, there's literally this entire world that I don't know about and I'm learning about, and this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's the vaporwave vinyl community is an awesome little scene. And I mean, for a long time, there was never really any physicals. There was cassettes, you know, but then the vinyl started to slowly pour in. And nowadays in the scene, it's like almost everything's on vinyl. And it's just an amazing way, you know, to preserve the work of another artist, to just support your artist and just hold that creation in a tangible way. You know, just I love just opening up like a gatefold LP and looking at the artwork on the inside and the color, and you know, maybe I'm over exaggerating everything, but it's just fun. It just evolves the music
absolutely
in a way.
not. Everything you just said, I absolutely agree with.
It evolves everything in an awesome way, and it's a great conversation piece. Like I just love, like, you know, a couple friends over, have a bottle of whiskey, hang out for the night. We don't feel like going out. I mean, now we're never going out with COVID, but we're just chilling. You know, just have a couple drinks of whiskey, just throw records on, talk about the records, like just, and the sound quality is great. So it's just, it sounds better. It genuinely sounds better. So it's a good time. It's a good time.
Absolutely.
And
I used to have a shitty record player, and then I was like, oh shit, vinyl records just don't sound good. And then I like, I nutted up and I got a big boy record player. I'm like, oh no, they sound good. It's just my fault.
Yeah, no, once you make that jump to like a decent record player, and it's all about your sound system too. You know, if you run everything right, you could get some really good sound. So
now my shit is crystal clear. I love it.
Hell yeah,
it's fantastic.
Do you have any of the Caretaker vinyl by any chance?
Okay, so this is a big thing. I tried. So this is another reason that I was like kind of scared. I'm like, I think James Leland Kirby, like possibly listened to my video, because I was on Reddit just scrolling, you know, doing my thing. And then I saw, like, I'm up with this I think it's like vinyl record. It's something with vinyl records where people like post about new records coming out or restocks. And I saw there's like Caretaker, Everywhere at the End of Time is getting a restock on vinyl. I'm like, holy fuck! Like this is like 2 months after I made the video. I'm like, holy shit! And as like this came out, I looked at the post like 20 minutes after, all gone.
Oh my god! Yeah, they go fast.
Yeah,
you go to Discogs, you look anything up. I reached out to James. I emailed him.
Holy shit!
I was like a while ago. I emailed him. I was like, hey, this must have been like, I think around June is when I started the first script for this video, and I scrapped that one. But I was like, hey, look, you know, I'm doing a video on Everywhere at the End of Time. I kind of gave him the whole pitch. I would love to have any commentary. But then I also asked at the end, I was like, by any chance, because this has worked for me before. You know, just try this. If there's a record you really want, for anyone listening to this, I always tell people, just ask. The best thing you can do in life is just ask someone a question. So I asked him, I was like, hey, is there any chance, you know, there's a back, you know, just any extra copies of any of your records on vinyl? I know he was dropping stuff on like Boom. I think it's Boomcat is the name of the.
I think it's like Bookmat or something like that.
Let me see.
I'm like 25% sure. Yeah, we can't get our facts right. We can't get our facts wrong here. We need to.
No, it's actually it's called Independent Music Selling Specialist. It's Boomcat is the name of the site, and most of his stuff was dropped on there. So I was asking him, is there anything, you know, you could find? He unfortunately said that you know he checked, there was nothing. But
wait, you talked to the Caretaker?
Yeah, I actually had a chance. Yeah, I got a couple emails in, and I asked him, you know, if he wanted to give any commentary on the project, and the way he responded, I think, was perfect. Because so he said he didn't want to give any commentary, and the reason why he didn't want to give it was because the way he made the album and the way he worded the track list, the story was so obvious that he was like, what else can I really say about just the themes? Like, what would you want me to say? And I was really happy he gave me that answer, because it just ties into the whole theme, one of the themes present in my video, which is, what else can we say about this, like this project? There's just what else, you know, he retired it. It's done.
Shit.
There's nothing left. That's it. Everyone's talked about it. He's done with it. He's retired the Caretaker. I think in 2019 it was done.
You're dude, you were like literally blowing my mind right now. Are you fucking kidding me?
No. So it was like, I just heard this back from him. It was kind of awesome to hear. And I like I said, I was happy in a way that he worded it that way, and he kind of didn't give me something, because it's true. Like, what else is he going to tell me that we don't know already?
Shit. Oh my God.
One of his earlier works from 2011, an Empty Bliss. It's like an Empty Bliss Beyond or From
Beyond This World,
like
absolutely.
Yeah, which I personally recommend more than Everywhere at the End of Time, just because I think it kind of takes it makes Everywhere at the End of Time a practical listen because it brings it to like, definitely not as long. Condenses it. And it kind of does the same thing.
I listened to it and I think that if you were to, I wouldn't recommend like Everywhere at the End of Time for someone to like put on when they're like hanging with the boys or something. But like Empty Bliss, Beyond This World, that's like a more, like you said, it's like accessible, condensed a little bit version of what we're talking about. Accessible.
Yeah, but they are supposed to be doing a repress on that. So, and that's supposed to be coming out before the end of the year.
Okay, I think I might.
So get ready, because I know I'm gonna be. I really don't buy vinyl anymore. I'll just get it from like I'll still go garage sale. Me and my girlfriend love going to garage sales. So if I find anything there, I'll pick up records there. And then every once in a while, like a label will send me some records. But
that's dope.
This is one I will not miss. Like I will be purchasing this.
Shit. All right, so I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna pull back the curtain real quick. I was gonna do like a bit about like I was gonna come on and I was gonna be like fake hostile and be like, so you're making a Caretaker video? You're step on my turf. Explain yourself. But like now I'm actually like genuinely very excited to see the video now that I know you actually talked to James Leland Kirby.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I got you in the script. There's the section of the video I talk about you. So yeah. I actually hold on. I'm going to give you're going to get a sneak peek. Let me pull up the script.
Sneak peek. Wait, when is the video going to come out? Is this going to be a sneak peek for the podcast? Like when the viewing world listens to it? Or is this a sneak peek from me?
It's honestly, I'm not even sure if the video will be out by the time the podcast comes out.
All right, that's fine.
I wanted to get it out by the end of this weekend, but as I'm making this video, it is going to be way too long and there's no way I'm going to finish it. But so let me get to the part where I refer to you.
It's a big fucking thing, dude. Like the editing process for me took like a little bit, even though like I'm not doing any like crazy edits or things like that. Just the fact of like listening to it and taking notes and trying to explain my thoughts and all that shit. That was probably like one of the biggest videos like time wise it ever took me to make.
Yeah, and I'm sure you could agree too. Like I've had so much fun making this video. Like just listening, putting the album on just over and over again, and it's just.
How many times you listen to it?
Oh my god! Well, it's so in full.
Like how many times is it in full?
In a genuine sitting down, like listening to the whole thing. Yep. I've done it twice before.
All right, I did it twice too. Respectable.
Yeah, I did it a while ago, and then the second time was when I was writing the first script that I scrapped for this video. I listened to the whole thing in its entirety while I was writing the video. Okay. But I mean, I think most people. I don't even think I just know for a fact. Like most people will really only listen to stage 1, 2, maybe 3. I find it like pretty hard, like for someone to really like go out of their way to listen to stage 4 to 6.
Those are the ones that get fucking crazy because like it's a big jump from like 1, 2, 3. Like those are like chill. I think they're like 45 minutes or something, and then 4, fucking that's like an hour and a half. It just fucking
I know. And the thing is, when you listen to the album in its entirety, once you get to that point, Kirby's production is so amazing. He like, and this is something I talk about in the video too. It's like his production is just like a slow IV drip, right? Like it's just this super gradual buildup that's just being injected in you, and you eventually.
That's a great way to put it. Shit.
It's so slow that you don't even feel the change necessarily. I mean, there's one part between stage 3 and 4 where there's kind of like a hard cut.
Yeah,
kind of gives you a little jump,
but like cuts out a little bit. You're like, oh,
yeah, and but still in 4, like stage 4 compared to stage 6. Stage 6 is way more just minimal and just brooding and.
Oh, dude, that phase scares the shit out of me. I hate listening to it.
It's wild, and when you listen to the whole thing in one sitting, though, you don't even realize half the time. At least for me, like the music just fades away. I don't even realize that it's there.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
But what we were going into before, so in one section of this video, so I start talking about the artwork. So I'll just give a little blurb from my script. And I go, the Project 6-part series was released throughout a period of 3 years. Each release or stage is accompanied by paintings from English artist Ivan Seal. As we progress through each stage, we begin to see the artwork decay along the way, becoming less concrete and more abstract until we hit the last stage where we're given nothing but a board and tape. It's all very imaginative and creates a personal opportunity for you to relate the artwork with whatever sound is going on at that time in the project. The duo of Kirby and Seal is really the perfect combo, a pairing of artwork and music that evolves the intended moods and uncanny undertones present throughout the entirety of Everywhere at the End of Time. Like I said earlier, there are way too many video essays out there that do a very good job at exploring Everywhere at the End of Time. But one video in particular that presents the beauty in this connection between the music of Kirby and the artwork of Seal is this video right here by YouTuber A Bucket of Jake. I'll leave a link to that in the description below for those who want to explore that artwork aspect a little bit more.
Let's go.
So I got you in there, baby.
Let's fucking go.
I got you
horns.
in there.
Air horns are playing right now.
Yes, sir.
I'm in this air horns. Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
Nice.
and like I said at the beginning of this podcast, I just really appreciate the take you made with that video, because compared to all the other Caretaker videos out there, it was different. And I have to be different with this one too, because there's so much Everywhere at the End of Time shit out there. There's so much of it. So, you know, I wanted to throw something in for you, and yeah.
What a guy. I like how you like put me in for the album covers. I didn't even think about like I went too deep in the album covers, but like thinking back, I kind of did.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what I noticed about people. They just jump right into the music and the themes, but they'll explore the artwork. Like there was that video where it's like, can you name one thing in this picture? And I know you were talking about that, but you spent a good amount of time, and I was pretty hooked on that section of the video. So
I'm a big album cover dude. What can I say? Which is kind of bringing me to a point that I want to talk about, is that you are a graphic designer, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That is why the respect between the both of us is quite mutual, because like you're the graphic design YouTube man, and I'm a bit of a graphic design YouTube man. I just find a connection between that, and I like seeing working graphic designers talking about like what they do, especially in a YouTube sense. And I think that's mad respect that you're like a graphic designer and you're doing all this shit for, you know, either whether that be Cats Kill, the YouTube thumbnails, or like your own music.
Mm-hmm. Well, the first thing, and this could be the same for you, obviously you do graphic design, you save a ton of money not outsourcing it. So like I just do all the design work myself, which is great. So that's the first thing. And the second thing was, the whole reason why I started the channel was because I graduated college in 2015 and jumped right into, you know, stereotypical cubicle graphic design job. I was working for a textile company, and I was designing the packaging for like bedding and curtains and pillows.
Just sending chills down my spine.
You know, like at first, like I got the job and I was like, oh, like this is great. This is what I'm supposed to do. Like I'm out of school, blah, blah, blah. But like slowly you realize like, shit, this is awful. It's just, you know, 9 to 5, you're just getting paid shit money and you're designing, you know, you're like a robot. And after a while, after like a year of it, or like a year and a half, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I need to have a creative outlet. Like, I need to do it. I need, you know, money. I need to pay my student loans. I need to pay this, my car payment, whatever it is. But I was like, I need to find a creative outlet for what I used to feel with art. Because back in college, like, I don't know if you went to school for graphic design, but I did. And
going to school right now.
So you feel like, I don't know what your teachers push you. I didn't go to an art school. I went to like just a regular college.
I went to a regular college too. Yeah.
So the curriculum, it's super laid back. I don't know about yours. I'm going to put your college on, but for me, it was super laid back, and it was like, you know, just be yourself and do this, but no one kind of taught you, you know, what the real world's like and what the business side of art is like. And, you know, it's, you need to know like everything about the creative suite and Photoshop, Illustrator. You need to know the inside and out. And in college, I knew like 20 different things that I was good at in Photoshop or Illustrator, and I would just nonstop do those. And then the real world comes, it smacks you in the face, whatever. But what I'm getting to is, it kind of sucks because you get out of school and then you realize what the corporate art world is like. And I was like, I can't have that, because I miss feeling like genuinely excited about making art. So around this time, I also discovered Vaporwave, and I was like, you know what? Why not make a YouTube video? That would be fun. Like spend a couple nights, you know, one day this week going home and writing a script and making a video. And I didn't think about starting a channel, anything like that. And I put the video
an outlet for your creativity.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So that's what it started as, and it still is, obviously. But that was the main thing. It wasn't to start a channel. It was just to like just make some sort of art, like just design something. And I always thought it would be cool, like to just make a YouTube video anyway. So I made that. And then there was like some small reception on that. Like some people were like, oh, you should make another video, whatever. So I did. And then 3 years later, we're here. And like it's crazy how much it's grown. But the whole graphic design aspect is just, it's huge. Knowing just kind of how to work Adobe myself and all that stuff. It saves me so much time, and I kind of get to use, I still work a regular graphic design job, like a salary 9-to-5 job. And having Pad Chennington now has completely changed my life because it's made me a better worker at my normal day job. I kind of just, do my mundane, mindless work in a way. I'll put my music on and just zone out and just crush out whatever work I got to do, whatever designs I got to do at work. But then when I'm done for the day and I get to make a video and design that's where I really get to be creative, and it's just great. So like I tell anyone, if you've ever wanted to start a YouTube channel, don't start one because you want to be like a successful YouTuber. Not saying that's wrong, but don't, put all your marbles on that, and your happiness depends on if you're successful or not. But it's an amazing way to just creatively express yourself and let, a mundane routine get distilled out, out of your body, and you could just make a video. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm sure you felt the same thing, especially with that Caretaker video. It's just
that's what I did before the Caretaker video. I told myself, I'm like, all right, 2020 is, I'm gonna make this the year where I'm just gonna grind. So like at the start of 2020 in like January, I went nuts to butts. I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking do a lot of shit and see if this gets traction. And by golly, did I get some traction? But I'm not gonna pull no wall over anyone's eyes. That it took a very long time. So if anyone's out there, like if you make like 4 or 5 videos and you're like, oh shit, this isn't worth it, I'm not getting anything, that's not the attitude that you need. You gotta you need a grind before shit pops off,
Yeah, it's all about consistency, and it's like you just set yourself up and be like, I'm going to discipline myself, and I'm going to make a video, one video every blah 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 days, and when at least to get the ball rolling. Once you get a good subscriber count, it'll kind of just grow naturally in a way.
Snowball,
yeah. So it'll kind of just grow naturally. But if you do want to base a lot of the happiness you're going to get out of YouTube on being successful, you got to be consistent. You got to just say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend the time. I'm going to learn different editing techniques. I'm going to do everything I can to stick out from the rest. And I recommend anyone make a YouTube channel. It is a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. Very, very wise words coming from Mr. Pad Chennington. Another question that I was curious about. This is kind of like for me and for audience members. Patreon is a big thing with YouTubers and stuff like that. How does one know when they're big enough to create a Patreon?
Do it whenever you want, because any amount of money, everyone has their own financial situations, and any amount of money can help you. And I know a goal of mine is to be able to do Pad Chennington full time. So, and early on I was researching, what can I do to build multiple sources of income with the channel, without being some pushy asshole, just only focusing on that. Like, what could I do? And Patreon's a great way, because it's also an opportunity for you to give people who watch your videos just all these cool rewards and all that shit. We know the spiel. Like, we've heard YouTubers say it all the time.
Guys, join my Patreon for some exclusive rewards.
Yep. So it's good though. I would say just do it whenever you want. It doesn't hurt, and you'll be surprised. Like when I started my Patreon, I thought I wasn't gonna get anyone when I started it. And I ended up getting I think 3 patrons in the first week, and that was huge for me.
That's nothing to wag a stick at, man.
So that was at the time too, where just YouTube nowadays is kind of they're really. I feel like I'll give them some credit. They are figuring some things out. It feels like the platform's getting a little better. But back in 2017, 2018, oh my god,
worst time to be a YouTuber ever,
dude. I hit the requirements to get monetization.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, I forgot about the monetization shit.
Yeah, I hit the requirements, and they were supposed to reach out to me within a week. They didn't end up reaching out to me for a year and a month, I remember.
Jesus Christ.
It was insane. And it was getting to the point where I was really doing it. I was spending a lot of my time doing it. And don't get me wrong, I was still doing it, for the fun. But I was after a while, I was it would be nice to make some extra money for this and maybe somehow get to doing it full time one day. But then finally, the whole monetization thing clicked and whatnot. But yeah, just totally anyone, make a Patreon whenever. You'll be surprised who wants to support you, and anything will help. So,
what a dog shit platform that we love. God, YouTube needs to get its shit together.
I know. Don't get me wrong. There are still some very just stupid things about the platform. Oh my god. Really quick, what's one thing I noticed the other day? Like one thing, I don't know why this isn't an option on YouTube. Why don't they have an option? This seems so simple to implement. Why can't they make a thing where for all of your thumbnails that exist on YouTube at the moment, you can make a little like watermark thing in the top left corner of all your thumbnails to kind of brand your channel? Because from what it seems like now, if I wanted to do that, like if I wanted to put my icon at the top left corner of my thumbnail,
literal hours.
I have to go through every thumbnail in Photoshop and re-upload it.
That's a smart idea, actually.
Right? Like, shouldn't that be a thing? Like, you could just a one-click thing where like your logo goes at the top left corner of all your thumbnails.
They have this shit for the fucking like the videos, the branding thing. Yeah, that makes sense. Why can't they do it for the thumbnails? That sounds like easier than doing it.
Exactly. So I was just thinking, because you go on your YouTube homepage, and a lot of those big YouTubers, like they'll have their little brand in like the top left corner, a little logo, and it kind of just adds to the brand of their video. And I feel like that could help a lot of YouTubers. So YouTube, what are you doing? Let's make that thing a reality. There's so many stupid things on YouTube that should exist,
man. God, what a dog shit platform we love. What a fucking wild world. But you, Mr. Pad Chennington, you've turned me on to a lot of good artists. Like I did not know jack shit about vaporwave. I saw Floral Shop before. Like I saw the thumbnail of it, and I was like, oh, okay, I know what this is. That was about as far as my extent of the vaporwave world went. But you've opened me up to like some surprisingly cool musicians, not even like necessarily vaporwave, because the first video that I saw that I didn't even know that was you, it was the fucking it was the 10 most terrifying 13 most disturbing albums on the internet. Okay. You turned me on. I think it was the first one you talked about, Maynard Vile with Body Count. You turned me on to that. I really fucking like that record.
Awesome.
But dude, you turned me on to like a lot of cool shit.
That's the most important thing to me, I think, with this channel is it's like just giving the music that I like to listen to, or that I just simply find interesting. It could be something that I stumble upon and I listen to it for a minute and I'm like, okay, I'm going to include this in a video somehow because this is just interesting. And it kind of just gives these artists that are really obscure and, will get a couple hits, maybe a day. Like, it brings some heads over to them. It gives them some listens that they deserve. They truly deserve. So I always want this platform that I've built to be a place for artists to have their music be heard, and there's so much music out there. I'm never going to run out of a topic to talk about. So, but that's amazing to hear that, you found music from the channel. Cause that's, like I said, that's the goal, is just,
dude, you got me into fucking Bandcamp gang, bro. I never use Bandcamp. And then after I'm like, okay, all of these albums are like mostly on Bandcamp. And there was like a period where I did like a plunge, like every week I'd go I'd actually purchase them off Bandcamp. Like I bought the Towers record that you talked about. Love that video, by the way. Awesome. Weak Waves by Sea of Dogs. Nothing, It's Too Late. Super Sex 420. The Split EP. Haircuts for Men. I don't know what it's called. It's in a different language, but it's the one with the Renaissance head and it's like all red. The album cover. That's a fucking sick album.
Oh
cover.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep. It's
a beautiful album cover. But yeah, dude, you fucking got me into like a lot of. I was on a big vaporwave kick when I found your channel. I'll give you that much.
Awesome. And all the albums you just named, like that is a real diverse blend right there. So that's good
absolutely.
to hear too. That kind of, it's just a mix of everything, which is really cool. But Bandcamp's great. They do these and they've been doing a lot of them recently. They do these things called Bandcamp Fridays where they just waive all of the money they make. And
after COVID, it's started Bandcamp Fridays. That's sick.
Yeah, it's so awesome to see, because now artists obviously figured out okay, let's just release all our shit on a Bandcamp Friday. Why wouldn't we do that? And you would think Bandcamp would notice that, but no, they're just letting it go. Like it's still going. They're still doing these Bandcamp Fridays, and it's awesome. They're really
they seem
cool
very for the artist.
Yeah, definitely.
Bandcamp loves the artist, bro. Not like YouTube that actually hates people. Did you see the thing the YouTube tweeted that everyone got mad about?
No, what'd they say now?
Okay, I need more people know about this because I think it's really fucking funny. YouTube tweeted it was like a meme, and it was like nobody, absolutely nobody, YouTubers, and then it was like stretching the video to 15 minutes so I can get ad revenue or something, and everyone was fucking losing their minds in the comments. They're
like, why would they say that? Because the reason is that there are limits and policies and what we need to do to get ad revenue.
I just thought it was funny how offended people got. This is horrible. YouTube is not for the creators at all. Like,
yeah, but the other
and
thing
that's
is
how
too
they
is
get their money.
yeah, of course, and they have nothing to lose at this point. Like, who the hell? I don't think anyone's gonna ever be able to take over YouTube. I mean, it's under Google.
No, God,
Like,
no,
how
absolutely not.
who the fuck's gonna beat them? Like, it's not like there's another platform coming out. So you got to
Fucking
beat them at
Daily
their own
Motion.
game. You got to beat them at their own game. Just like figure it out. Figure out how to make your channel enticing, how to keep people, watching your videos. And like I said earlier, it's just, I think it comes down to consistency. It comes down to engagement, responding to your comments, making people feel like you're not just a video, you're an actual person and you're down to earth and you can have a conversation with people, and all those little things, go a long way. And
They come for the topic, but stay for the personality.
that's a good way to put it. Good way to put it.
Speaking of coming and staying for personalities, you have you make music too as well. I want to touch upon this because I listened to your albums and I'm like, damn, that shit fire. Did you talking about music come before the love of making music, or how, like, which came first, making the music or talking about music?
So I made everything after I started talking about music, but I played drums growing up and a little bit of bass in college. I picked the bass up because I was like, I remember I went to a Young the Giant concert in college.
Yo, shout out to Young the Giant. That is a name I've not heard in years.
Yeah, so I was like in all those bands back in college, and I went to one of their shows and they just like killed it. And the front man, like, he was going nuts and having a good time, and I was like, damn, I don't want to be a drummer in the back. I want to be in the front. Like, I just want to be in the front. I want to like jam out and like, do my thing. So I picked up the bass and everything like that. But in regards to digital production, I never made anything digital. I would in college, like in Fruity Loops, make like just stupid basic beats like that my roommate would like rap off of. It was literally nothing. It was all stock plugins and drums and everything like that. But once I started the channel, and this is kind of what happened with starting a record label, which I can't really say it because it's not out. But once it is out, I guess I could add that to the belt. But
we'll have you on again so you can talk about the record label.
Oh, hell yeah! So there's that, and then doing festivals. Like, as I talk more and more about it, I'm like, I want to do it myself. Like, and I don't care that I've never done it before. I don't even care that maybe the production isn't going to be the tightest thing in the world, whatever. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to just try. I'm going to try, and that's what I ended up doing with the music. So I dropped Contrast in 2019, I think. Yeah, February 2019, I dropped Contrast, and that was just, I worked on that album for, I think it was a little over 3 months, and I kind of just stopped making YouTube
3 months, shit.
Yeah, I kind of stopped making it. I watched a lot of tutorials, and I do got to give a lot of shout outs to other artists in the scene. I reached out to and was like, hey, can you give me some tips on this? Like, what's the best way to get really good, like, Daft Punk sounding bass? Like, how do I do that? Like, how do I make it sound all like droopy, and like, how do I get that Justice distortion? Just shit like that. I would not
fucking shout out Justice, dude. No one knows about fucking shout out Justice, dude. I'm digging these fucking callbacks, bro.
Dude, yeah, Cross. I was listening to what song came off? It was like 2 minutes or 3 minutes to Midnight is the name of the song off of Cross, which is like their most famous album. And that album deserves a video in itself. Maybe I'll do that one day. But
that's a good idea, actually. Yeah, Justice.
Shout out to Justice.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah,
fucking shout out to Justice. But since you're a graphic designer, your album covers are fucking fire. I'm looking at Contrast right now. God damn. Nice.
Yeah, that was fun to make. So that was just a mix of just vectors and shapes in Illustrator, and then I just I took pictures of just different it was like a mix of different cloth and like just things on fucking Google Images. I also dragged too, and I just overlaid and soft light and all those different overlaying layers to create this really cool, just like wild abstract, like paper mache looking thing. So that was Contrast, and that was fun. And then my second album was Dewdropper, which came out a couple months later. And both albums are pretty similar. They're all sample based, but the next album I want to do completely with no features and all sample free material. I'm gonna teach myself some goddamn instruments and do it. So yeah, dude, that's the plan.
I'm excited to see where your music goes because I'm listening to it. I'm like, damn, this shit fucks.
Thanks, dude.
Do you have any plans to pull a Joji? Because a lot of like YouTubers I talk about, they're like, yeah, like I was talking to Volksgeist and he was like, yeah, my plan is like I kind of want to do a Joji, like make the videos and then at some point you'd be like, all right, see ya, and then just like start making music. ambient music he wants to make, which is kind of
Yeah.
sick.
That is sick. And that's also a great channel. I just watched a video from them the other day. I forgot what it was. But
Oh, he's on the podcast.
oh, that's awesome. I gotta check that
He's
out.
coming out. What the fuck is today? 2 days. Wednesday. It's gonna be out.
Oh, dude, that's
recording this Wednesday.
Sweet. Yeah, that's all. I mean, I think that's so cool. I think after a while, you talk about music so much, you kind of like, it's inevitable. I feel you're gonna want to make some, So I think that's what ends up happening to some people. It's what happened to me. I mean, for me, my goal is to eventually. This is the dream. The dream is in like 5 years, I want to be able to open up a cafe, a Catskill Records cafe, and it would be just my entire record collection just in the fucking store, and anyone could just throw my records on, just do whatever they want.
That's sick, actually. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's the dream. So like it's like a half record store, half cafe, and then just run the record label. That's it. That's really the dream, I would say, after a while. So
that's actually sick. Do you have any copies left of like your music on vinyl? Because I'm looking at the Bandcamp. I see Contrast has a vinyl record released. Do any more of those exist, or have they all been sold?
They probably Alan at Core Spect Records, which is an awesome record label in the vaporwave scene, and one of the nicest guys to work with. So shout out to Alan. He picked up Contrast to do a vinyl release on it, and I don't have any of my music on Spotify or anything that has ads. And if I have my songs on YouTube on my channel, but I turned monetization off. And I'm not saying people who do this, obviously then vaporwave wouldn't really work. But I just believe, like, for me personally, like, I'm a YouTuber. I just wanted to make this music as a fun way to just make music, and I don't want to necessarily. I don't want to make. Yeah, and I don't want to get fucking hit for copyright at the same time. So it's like a mix of both. So I was like, you know what? I didn't want to do physicals at first. I really didn't want to do them, and then I was like, look, let's do something at Core Spec. People want it, and we started talking about. I was like, all right, let's do a small little vinyl run. And,
how many were there?
I think 300 in total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's 300 of those. And I think they went the first day, which was awesome. But I mean, with that,
do you have your own record on vinyl?
Yeah, I do. I made sure I was like, Alan, you got to send me like a couple.
Boy, if you didn't fucking copy your own.
No. I was like, Alan, you got to send me. I have to have at least a copy of it just to this is my record.
Flex a little bit, yeah.
So yeah, it was really fun. But once I make sample free stuff, that's when I'm going to be like, all right, I'm going to push this shit everywhere. I'm going to do physicals. I'm going to do the whole thing. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. 2021 is going to be an interesting year. 2020 was obviously a dud in a way, bittersweet because we a lot of us got to stay home and discover the content we wanted to make and stuff like that. So it is bittersweet. 2020 was
such a conflicting year for me because it was so dog shit for everything else. But this is when I started getting traction, so can't hate 2020 too much, but
what about you? What's your plans? What do you want to do with the channel going forward now you have this big fucking video. What are you going to do now to follow it up? What are you going to do?
What I want to do, because I'm definitely talking about more. I have videos planned of albums I want to talk about that are more story based or something that really fascinates me. The next 2 videos that I'm working on making. Do you know who Anna Frango Electrico is?
I have no idea, but that sounds so fun to say.
I know, right? Someone DM'd me on Instagram. They're like, "Hey, check this out." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And I'm listening to it. And I'm like, "Wow, this is a nice. It's Brazilian. It's a Brazilian pop rock kind of thing." And I was like, "Oh, okay, shit, this is pretty cool." I'm like, This is sounds like I had this vague notion listening to him. I've heard this somewhere before. And I'm like, it sounds like it's from the 60s. I'm listening to it. I'm like, shit, it's Brazilian, and I don't speak any Portuguese at all. But I'm like, okay, I've definitely heard this before. And then after I finished listening to it, I did research, and this came out a year ago. I have this such strange inclination of listening to this, a such distinct memory of listening to it when I was about waist height, but it never happened. And I just want to talk about that because I find that so strange and fascinating that a record could have such weird sounds. But along with that, some more ambient music, because a lot of the Caretaker comments were telling me to listen to this one group by the name of How to Disappear Completely. That's one. That
Yes,
one
dude,
video.
do that, please. You would make a great video on that. I almost made a video on the exact album you're going to be talking about because I know what you're going to talk about.
I think I want to dive in like the whole discography, kind of like, if not like the entire discography, because they have a lot, like the major like records, like, oh fuck, I don't know what it's called, but like it starts with an S, whatever the record is.
There's the one, it's like just the all black cover. It's like really dark. That's the one I've heard. Downs to Fall Asleep to or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, what is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say I have a computer in front of me. Let's just fucking figure this out. But this one's gonna be like tough if I do a video on it, because like there's like little to no information about them, which is kind of scary to me. Like
that's what makes another thing with making music related content about obscure albums. It's very hard. Like you have to bridge the gap between like, how do I not sound pretentious, but how do I also like pull context and like make a story and whatnot? Because a lot of these, you know, artists and albums, there's like no backstory, like concrete stuff from the artist. It's very hard to find. So to make video essay content on it, you kind of have to be very imaginative and you have to just explore just abstract themes and evolve on that. And but yeah, I'm excited to see what you got to say about that.
Oh, that's cool too. And you were talking about the musical aspects. I'm definitely want to branch out into musical aspects, definitely, because I've been making music like on the side, but now that I have like an audience, I want to see if I could push it to my audience, because I know the kind of audience that I attract, like people who enjoy weird music and like abrasive, like there's like groups with like that enjoy noise, that enjoy like hip hop, like alternative, like new age type beat. And the music that I'm working on making, which it's coming out very soon, so heads up, it's kind of a mixture of all that stuff. So I think, whereas Joji, he had to leave because the two worlds are too completely different, they couldn't like coexist together. I think I could like have the two worlds exist and like work very well between the two of them. Like you're a fantastic example of someone who makes the videos and makes the music that just work very well together.
Awesome, thanks. Yeah, another thing too is just let it take you for a ride. That's the thing I tell people too. Just like, don't think about like focusing on like, oh, like I'm so scared to branch out into like another alias, or I'm so scared to like try a new skill under my name right now, whatever. Just do it and see what ends up happening, and you'll be surprised. You know what your audience will end up digging. It's
after this podcast goes off the air, I'm definitely gonna ask you some questions about
dude. Yeah,
trying to get you to give me James Lil and Kirby's email address.
Yeah, I mean it took a fucking long time for him to respond, but it's all good. And the way he responded too, like he talks like he would be this like haunted caretaker. Like it was just. Really? It was brilliant. Like when I was reading the email, the way he was wording things, I was like, "This is like kind of spooky." Like I kind of like,
bro. All right, Pad Chennington. I didn't expect this conversation would go too well, but I don't want to let you go just yet, because on my Instagram, I put on my story. I said, "Guys, I'm having the Pad Chennington on the podcast, and if you have any questions, send them my way." And I have some questions that your fans are dying to know. All right, here we'll go in order instead of least popular. All right, what is worse, having a bad taste in music or having no taste in music?
Oh my god, that is a fucking question. Wow. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna say it would be worse. It would be worse to have a bad taste in music, because before, like, there was all a period of our lives where we had no taste in music. I know for a fact, like, everything I would listen to up until like 7th grade, I'll never forget. I was talking about this the other night on a live stream. The second I heard Abbey Road by the Beatles, that woke me up from just like only listening to what was on the radio at the time. And like my whole life, I would just listen to, besides what my parents listened to, like growing up, like Queen and shit like that. Like I would only listen to what was on the radio. And like I remember, like, life was all fun. It was like so innocent and like not necessarily like having a super like looking for all these specific things in music. It was fun. But when you have bad taste at the same time, like nobody wants to, like, I don't know. If you just have bad taste and if it's this like annoying, obnoxious music, I don't know. Like I don't.
Young Gravy, Drake, Nav. the most acclaimed artists of this generation.
Yeah, so I would say controversial answer. I would rather have no taste in music than bad taste in music.
Okay, respectable. I think I could see you there. All right. Here, I'll read the names. The last question was by Ryu Fei 2004, I think it's pronounced. And this question is by Max W Banks. They want to know, what are your favorite video games?
Oh, awesome. So my favorite video game of all time is Pokemon Blue version. Just like growing up playing that, I must have put fucking like years of my life into that game. So Pokemon Blue version, definitely my favorite game of all time. Some of my other favorite games, I would say like Kingdom Hearts, like the first one. I don't know what the hell's going on with those games anymore. Like I stopped after the first.
Does anyone know what's going on with Kingdom Hearts?
I don't
even think the guys making it know what's going on.
So that I love. What do I love? I love like GTA, and I'm pretty basic. Like I don't know, Elder Scrolls. And
do you know what my favorite video game is of all time?
What is it?
I will give you $1 million if you can guess what it is. I'll actually give you $1 million.
I just straight up guess.
Guess a guess. Just what do you think it is?
Oh my god, there's so many games.
Exactly. That's why it's $1 million.
I mean, it can't be something obvious if you're like, I don't know. Backyard Baseball. Remember Backyard Baseball?
I fucking remember Backyard Baseball, but that's not it. All right. It's Ghostbusters for Xbox 360.
Oh my god, I would have never. Yeah.
I fucking love that game.
What kind of game is it? Is it like a
it's
shooter
literally
or something?
Yeah, shooter essentially, but you're like a Ghostbuster, and it's like the third movie that's not the female version and bad. It's like a good like third movie. I just love that video game so much. And it just got re-released on Xbox One, so before I get a PlayStation, I'm playing that fucking game.
Dope. All right, cool. I gotta. That's another issue I'm having these days. Like I know once my girlfriend and I move out, like I want to get the PS5 or the Xbox Series S, whatever it's called. I don't really know anything about the game. I'm so basic.
Xbox is called, yeah.
But I have to pick one. Like I don't know what to get. So if anyone
honestly,
wants to,
I used to be an Xbox boy like all the way, but like seeing the games that PlayStation has, like this might be like I might have to just go.
That fucking Spider-Man game, like
it looks sick.
That doesn't even make sense. It looks so cool. Like
they have so many great titles, like for launch. And what the fuck does Xbox have? They don't even have Halo for Xbox because that got pushed back. They have nothing.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think I'm going with a PS5.
Fucking PS5. Let's go, PS5 gang. All right. Paulo Isuri. How important is visual art for music?
I guess it's as important as you want it to be. I like you can listen to music without knowing what the album art is and all that stuff. I think a good example of that for me personally is jazz. Like I barely know the names of any jazz artists. I barely know the names of any jazz albums or what they look like. But I for a long time I would go to garage sales like years ago, and a lot of times I would find like boxes of jazz records, and I wouldn't know who what jazz artists they were. I would just buy them. And I would throw the record on, and there was something really just extraordinary of just having no backstory, not knowing who the artist is, what the artwork looks like even looking at something, an artwork and an album artwork, and seeing a color on that artwork can totally change your whole mental experience when listening to an album. And that with those jazz records, that was, absent. It was purely about the music. I was stripped away from the visual aspect of it, and it was very interesting. But at the same time, that visual aspect can evolve music in such incredible ways. Like everywhere at the end of time, looking at that artwork is just, it's so barren and abstract, and it's like creepy, but it's not, because it's just a fucking roll of paper towels. Like it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So how important is it? It's as important as you want it to be. And either route you take, you'll find some sort of bliss or just extreme complexity that's fun to dive into.
Possibly a controversial take, but I honestly think that the album artwork or like the packaging or however you want to put it, the design for it is almost or maybe even a little more important than the music. That's just my.
It's definitely a good take.
Maybe it's because I'm a graphic designer and like, because I always put it like this, like if every single like vinyl or like if let's take this back in time, let's go blast in the past real quick. If everything, if you walk into a record store and it's all just like a black sleeve and that you just go by name, like I feel like that it take away some magic to it. I think the fact that we have all these weird ass album covers and stuff really put like a little touch of personality on the music, and you can see the sides of it. But again, that's just my opinion.
No, it's definitely true. And I think for any artist that wants to, if you're an underground artist or you're just putting something out for the first time, take the time to make brilliant artwork, because that's how a lot of things that I look into just are from the artwork alone, obviously.
Same.
I mean, like Merge Bow's Pulse Demon. Yeah, Pulse Demon is like such a cool looking cover. And I think that's what draws a lot of people to it in the first place. But it's just a mix. It's a mix. It's like it's what you want it to be. But yeah, definitely there's some cool fucking artwork out there that definitely aids the music.
All right. There you go. Music cool, album cover cool. All right. Do you think some people are just born to make stuff? This question is by Amiri Asickle. God, I need to fucking you guys need to fucking get better names for me to read. Jesus. I'm trying to do this. Do you think some people are born to make stuff?
I don't know. I don't think so. I personally think we're all on the same level the second we come out the womb. I think it's all about like what life does to you along the way. Like I only started the channel because of the situation I was in. This mundane job made me realize I'm losing my grip on my creative side and I need to explore it again. So I think there are people that are just born gifted. They're just on another level in regards to whatever talent or niche they do. But I think a lot of things are just things along the way that you have control of, and it could really build your talent and your skill and your craft. And same thing with fucking YouTube. It's like it comes down to just consistency, discipline, all those little things, I think can make you super talented at something. You don't have to be necessarily born with it.
Absolutely agree. Very wholesome conversations here on the Big Fish Podcast.
It is, yeah, definitely.
Extravagance with 4 E's. I didn't even know I could put 4 E's in this word. But underrated / slept on albums, ?
Underrated / slept on albums. Okay, you know what? And it's funny because we kind of just shit on Drake and we were talking about bad taste. But let me tell you,
I'm gonna guess.
Guess it.
Nothing was the same.
Is that the one when he's in the sky?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, yes, sir. I was listening to the Just Hold On We're Going Home song the other night.
Yeah.
Fucking banger. And the one with Jean Aiko or whatever her name is, there's a song on there. That album, I remember I was in college when that album came out and I just got back from Sicily. I have a lot of family who lives in Italy, so I went there for the summer. Yeah, so I went there for the summer, and interesting, just another thing about that summer. The one thing I'll always remember was they live in like southern Sicily and there's like literally no Wi-Fi anywhere. It's just like, it feels like the place is like 30 years ago stuck in time. But so I went there, I had no Wi-Fi, I had no cell phone service or anything. And before I left for Italy, Yeezus came out. And a month before that, Random Access Memories came out by Daft Punk. So I had those 2 albums on my iTouch for that whole trip. That's the only 2 albums I listened to that whole fucking summer was Yeezus. And,
you got some good
it was definitely a weird blend. But anyway, so I get home and I go back to school that year. It was my sophomore year of college. I get back from Italy. And that first week of school, I think, is when that Drake album dropped. And I remember everyone was like, oh, he's so emotional and annoying and blah, blah, blah. Dude, there's some fucking gems on that album.
There is.
So nothing was the same. And I do got to say, though, he's got some bad posture on that album. Look at the way he's leaning forward. He's got to fix himself right there.
My man do got a crane neck on this cover. I'll give him that much.
He definitely does. But I'll give it. That's my underrated album for you for today.
I agree. Yeah, the one song with Sampha. Oh, highly recommend that song.
Dude, there's a lot of good songs in there. And I kind of re-listened to just tracks from that album the other night after I listened to the Just Hold On We're Going Home song, and I was like, there's some good stuff on here. Definitely.
There you go. Bet you didn't think we're gonna have a nice wholesome conversation about Drake on this podcast. Let's fucking go. All right, rank. All right, I like this one. This username's too big. I can't even read it all. A Blaze in the Northern Jackson. I can't read the rest, but it cuts off. But Rank your top 10 favorite toes.
Top 10 favorite toes.
Favorite toes, yeah.
Let's go with. I don't know what it would be called, but like whatever the ring finger of your toes are. I love cracking my toes. Like I love cracking my knuckles.
Ooh, you can crack your toes?
You can't try cracking your toes. I could probably do it. I don't know if you could hear it. Hold on. No, I can't. I'd probably crack them. Dude, crack your toes. It's fucking a great experience.
I can't crack them.
The ring finger toe is just great to crack. So I'll give that my number one.
Wow. Okay. Touche.
I'll give that my number one. What else? I think let's go with the big toe, obviously, because I think you can't like do anything without your big toe or something. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong on that, but I think like your balance gets all fucked up or something.
I think I read that too somewhere actually. I think you're onto something.
Yeah, it might be that one or the pinky toe. I'm like inspecting my toes now. Every other toe is like tier 3, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. Top tier toe for me, fuck, I don't know. Like I don't have any good memories with my toes. The only thing like is like breaking them. Like I can't think of any good memories with my toes.
Oh my god!
I broke like 2 of my toes. I kicked a tree when I was doing a backflip on a trampoline, and
oh my god,
another one. You know, like those like a sliding door. They have like the raised guideline.
Mm-hmm.
I was like running real quick, and I just like kicked it with my it's the pointer finger. If it was a toe, I don't know what it's called, but if you're looking at your hand, it's the pointer finger. That's what it's a toe.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I see it. Yep.
Broke my toenail, and then like the toenail like wouldn't fall off because it was still like connected or something. But then a new toenail grew underneath, so now I have 2 toenails on my right. Yeah.
Wow, that is sick.
It's like it looks like shit. Like I that toe's fucked up, but my mom's she does like pedicures. She's like has like a nail salon, so she's working on filing that bitch back to normal. That's definitely the lower tier. So top tier for you is ring toe.
Ring toe.
What is that? What it's called? Ring toe? I don't fucking know.
I wouldn't be surprised. What else? What are you gonna call it? It's the ring. It's the ring finger toe.
We put way too much thought into this question. All right, this is the last one. I'm gonna read this verbatim by the person by the name of Hypnagogy0GIA. God, I can't. You guys need to get some better usernames. All right, I'll read this verbatim. Oh my God, it is happening. Crying emoji. Shocked emoji. Question: what would Future Funk sound like if only Daniel Lopatin made it?
That would be so. Daniel Lopatin is I don't know if you know the album Chuck Person's Echo Jams Volume 1 with the shark.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. I know album covers way better than I know the names.
No, it's okay. And he's 1 Tricks Point Never, and he did like the music for Uncut Gems. He did the score.
Wait, whoa. That's 1 Tricks Point Never.
Yeah, I think Lopatin did the score. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're actually right because I'm pretty sure he was at the screening for Uncut Gems.
Yeah, Uncut Gems is a soundtrack album by electronic musician Daniel Lopatin. Yeah. So.
Oh shit!
What would that sound?
Holy fuck!
So here's the thing: if he did Future Funk and he like tried to make actual good Future Funk, I'm sure it'd be very good because he's a very good producer. But if you want to take like the sounds of Lopatin and like make it into Future Funk, I don't know what the hell that would sound like. I think it would I don't know. It would be like, I don't even know. That is the weirdest question I think I've ever heard in my life.
They were curious, dude. I'd be interested to hear now that I know.
I'll say if he genuinely tries to make a Future Funk album, I'm sure it would be very good because he's just a great musician.
It's like Kanye making Yeezus, bro. They never could have saw it coming.
I know.
All right. Pad Chennington, that's all the questions I got. And we went a bit over time. I told you this was going to be an hour, but, a little over time. We barely scratched the surface of you, so I'm definitely going to have you on again at some point in the future so we can finish the conversation.
Definitely. I gotta have you on, too. I do like the late night with Pad thing on the channel.
Yeah,
I gotta have you on.
I've watched that so many fucking times.
Word.
I literally, legit, I have a dummy account that I just kind of, pop in, and I watch, and I'm just, sick.
Dope. Dude, yeah, I gotta have you on. Definitely gotta have you on.
Absolutely. But Pad Chennington, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you a lot. You're almost at 10K, bro. You're almost like a big fish, dude.
We're getting there. We're getting
You're about
there.
to get that fucking plaque, bro.
I'm about to sully with that plaque like it's the fucking Stanley Cup. You have no
God, I
idea.
want that fucking plaque.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with that damn play button, but I'm gonna just, oh my god, the amount of champagne that's gonna be poured on that thing. Like, it's been a long time. It's been a long time coming. So
Long time
yeah.
coming, man. And it's a long
Thank
time
you for having
coming
me on, dude.
for this to end. No, dude, thank you for hopping on. This was like a lot of fucking fun. I'd love to have you on again. This was like great.
Yeah, definitely. It was great.
We used to like talk so much. I didn't even get to all the questions that I wanted to, but I don't care, man. This is fun as shit. But before I let you off the hook of the Big Fish podcast, get it? Haha. I gotta ask you, are there any last words? Shout your shit out, give any name call outs or anything like that. Floor is yours.
Hell yeah. So I'll just keep it real simple. You guys can find me at Pad Chennington on YouTube. I just do a bunch of music deep dives. And like I said earlier, I'm working on a record label. I make music. I do online festivals, twitch.tv/CatsKillRecords, which is also the name of the record label. I kind of don't know what the fuck I'm doing with the channel anymore. I don't know where it's going. I'm just doing it one day at a time. If there's a topic I want to talk about, I'll talk about it. If there's a topic you want me to talk about, let me know. Maybe I'll talk about it. I don't know. So just look up Pad Chennington. You should be able to find me. And I guess just a quick shout out. I'll give a shout out to Alan at Core Respect Records. They had Contrast. It's one of the best record labels in the game. Hey. Also, I guess there's so many goddamn people I could shout out. I wouldn't even know where to start. Just shout out to everybody, I guess, that kind of, helped me along the way, whether it's I asked them for just feedback on an album, if I was making a video about them, or a question regarding how to run a record label. There's just been so much amazing help, and the internet really is a beautiful place. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Just look up Pad Chennington, and you'll find me somewhere.
That's the biggest like flex you could do. Like Google me. That's a big flex.
Google me. That's it. That's all I got.
Google me. That's pretty sick. But Pad Chennington, again, I appreciate it. I will have you on again. I'll guarantee you. And I'm definitely gonna hit you up about
let's do it.
Some questions about music and possibly getting you to dox James Leland Kirby, but we'll talk about that at a later date.
Definitely.
Guys, thank you for listening to the Big Fish podcast. I freaking appreciate it. You're actually like, this is pretty sick. I'm getting like a lot of cool listeners and people like who are genuinely interested in the shit I have to make. It's fucking awesome. I appreciate that a lot. So, thank you for listening. It's on major streaming services. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. Leave a review. I want to start doing the thing that the fucking misfits do, where they start reading the reviews. I want to start doing that. So if you want to read a review, if you want to write a review, by all means, put one in. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Again, major streaming services, YouTube channel. Thank you to my guest, Pad Chennington. And as long as you like listening to your vaporwave vinyl collection, then you guys are good to go. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Big Fish podcast everywhere. Pad Chennington everywhere. A bucket of Jake everywhere. And have a pleasant day.